Saruhan Hatipoglu joins me now in our Washington studio to dive into some of those issues. He's the CEO of the consulting firm BERI and a CGTN global economics analyst. Well, we certainly heard what Einar had to say. A lot of the other items on the agenda, Saruhan. WTO reform, how significant is this, considering the biggest economies in the world are engaged in a trade war?
Well, it is huge, and it's been too late. Let's remember that the United States actually have not appointed judges to WTO for a long time, and it is not about President Trump. This goes back to President Obama as well. So that the fact that this issue has been taken up, we knew that it was going to, but it made it into the communique, it made it into global leaders' discussion, is actually a very good sign and a right step that needs to be taken.
The Trump administration had threatened to pull out of the World Trade Organization. Is it your sense that with this consensus that the WTO needs reform, they may reconsider that option?
I don't think so. We have a president, as you know very well, he shoots first and then asks questions later with the tariffs that we've seen it. This was a big statement that he made, but he made similar statements and then he withdrew or he scaled it back afterwards. This was just a shock and awe type of thing. There's a lot of people in his administration, people who are advising the president that would do their best to prevent that from happening. So I don't see that happening. There could be some other backs and forths with the president, but no, I don't think the U.S. will pull out of it.
Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, certainly a distraction at this gathering, seen in public for the first time since the Khashoggi murder debacle. And Vladimir Putin, when he first greeted bin Salman, there was this rather uncomfortable scene that played out. High-fiving each other, big faces. Of course, they ended up having. What do you make optics of that? And can we really read anything more into it besides the optics?
I don't think so. It was as if they were the first starting five in a basketball match, it looked like. There's a relationship between the two countries. There has been for a long time, and both leaders are fond of one another. And there's going to be a lot of economic relationship building up there. So we've seen that it's not only from President Putin, it's from President Trump as well. There is a tendency about this case to kind of push it down, sweep it under the carpet until everything is out in the clear, and the statements that we're hearing likewise. So I didn't expect that he would be MBS, that is, just pushed aside and not met with officials.
Yeah, he didn't seem bothered by anything whatsoever.
At all. He wasn't at all. There was a tense moment though when the Turkish president walked by him. He just looked away. So
well, we know why that is.
Exactly.
And the White House, we heard Stephen Gibbs talk about how there was no official meeting between Presidents Trump and Putin, but there was a little hello, how are you, that kind of conversation, which not necessarily surprising.
It's not, and in these meetings, it's really difficult to avoid leaders. They're in one room, and
you're bound to run into each other.
You must exactly. You must say hi, how are you doing, type of thing. But at the same time, we know that President Trump wants to keep the channels open with President Putin, and he would have a meeting were it not for the latest aggression against the Ukraine. So I think the State Department came in there and told the president maybe we should cool it off today in these couple of days. But if you want to say hi, go ahead, say hi.
And some say if the meeting had happened, President Trump could have used that as an opportunity to discuss U.S. issues with what happened with Ukraine. Use that as a ploy to convince the Russians perhaps that wasn't such a good idea.
Absolutely, but at the same time, it's too new, too fresh. So I know that the State Department is formulating a policy on this. So I think it would be a mistake, to be honest, for President Trump to sit down one-on-one and talk about this before he knew exactly what the State Department is going to advise and what the U.S. will do.
All right. Saruhan, thank you so much, as always.